Hello, I'm Scott Davis. Welcome to New World Birth. This is the care and feeding of a New World Age report for the Gregorian date of December 3rd, 2014, and one ebb or road in the Mayan Tzolkin calendar, with Mars entering into Aquarius, the Gemini Full Moon, Jupiter turning retrograde, Venus entering Capricorn, and the sixth Uranus Pluto square. And December 3rd is one ebb or road which carries the themes of destiny, guidance, travel, vessel of time, dew from heaven, abundance, organization, caretaking, empathy, growth, service to others, the ladder that connects heaven and earth, the life force, also known as prana in the Vedic tradition, or chi in the Chinese culture, harvest, and humility. And Ian Lungold once described road as sometimes referring to the sign of grass, which is the most bountiful of all life forms, but also the most humble. The road of life leads to our true destiny. On the spiritual path we all must travel. This 13-day period would be a good time to humbly offer to serve others. And before I get into the daily energy for the one road Trisena, all the planets are appearing to move forward from our perspective here on the Earth, with the exception of Uranus in Aries, which appears to be moving retrograde or in reverse motion. And remember, the themes of retrograde planets are review of the past, reevaluate, reminisce, and we can see these themes being played out. Uranus in Aries seeks to shake the very foundation through the unexpected rebellion of the individual. And retrograde Uranus in Aries will have people wanting to hurry the process of getting free, to push the river of revolution, whether it's personal or political. Being an outer planet, Uranus creates events that we respond to. Inner planets kind of affect us more personally as individuals, but the outer planets change the landscape, which affects us as a collective and as individuals within humanity. The real big change during the Road Tzolkin will be that Jupiter will be changing directions, with Jupiter appearing to be stopped at the opening of ebb, prior to appearing to move retrograde or in reverse motion from our perspective here on the Earth, on December 8th at 22 degrees Leo. And when a planet is stopped, it's said to be at the peak of its power. And Jupiter represents the king of the gods. The planet is about good fortune, opportunities, faith, religion, beliefs, and expansion. And Leo is about leadership, creativity, drama, entertainment, and children. So we can see these themes expanded at the beginning of December. Jupiter entered into its retrograde shadow period on September 13th of 2014, where it developed which developed opportunities that will be reviewed when Jupiter turns retrograde on December 8th and during its retrograde period. Mostly what I find with Jupiter retrograde, as with any retrograde cycle, there's a review of the past, and with Jupiter what gets reviewed is missed opportunities. When Jupiter turns direct on April 7th of 2015 at 12 degrees Leo, we'll become aware of a change in course regarding how we will expand our opportunities for creativity and leadership. Jupiter will take a few days to build momentum in moving reverse. In your personal life, you may want to actually look at 12 to 22 degrees of Leo to be aware of the house that is currently feeling Jupiter's expansive influence. For me, Jupiter's in my third house of communication, self-expression, family ties, short distance travel. So this retrograde time, I may find myself reviewing my creative communication activities and deciding, what activities are worth expanding and what situations are draining my resources with little material benefit. So basically, time will tell. So let's look at the daily vibrational energy for this Trisena. December 3rd is one ebb or road. It's about unity experience through serving your community in the Mayan Tzolkin calendar. I'm not going to be covering the daily lunar activity in these reports other than new and full moons, but that information is available on the New World Birth daily Facebook posts or the blogger New World Birth blog. On the 4th, we have 2 Ben or reed or corn duality experience through maintaining the home, while Mars moves into Aquarius. And which is going to bring more energy to the mental plane for a month and a half while Mars is in Aquarius. Once people are committed intellectually, actions are swift. This is a planet of aggression in the sign of freedom, and will continue to become aware of people struggling for their individual liberation, along with all forms of oppression being challenged. Through being assertive and possibly violent, as humanity feels the urge to break the bonds of restriction from governments, religions, and corporations. During this time, Mars is in Uranus's sign of Aquarius. Uranus is in Mars's sign of Aries. So we have mutual reception between these two planets, which can be seen as the planets are allies and strengthening each other, particularly when they form an exact sextile or 60-degree angle on December 20th. So I would keynote these forces as unexpected action, aggressive upheaval, but also as assertive ingenuity and the humanitarian drive. Also on the 4th, Venus it trines Jupiter. So from our perspective here on the Earth, Venus is forming a 120-degree angle with Jupiter. Which is one of the best transits except for its short duration. It brings ease, grace, pleasant social interactions. As with any Jupiter-Venus transit, this can bring laziness and self-indulgent behavior. Most will experience this as a need to break free from the daily grind. It's a great energy for social interactions, entertainment, and amusements. Romance and financial interests are favored under this transit, along with traveling or taking a vacation that begins at the time, as it indicates the journey will be fun, enlightening, and rewarding. Due to the low energy of this transit, this is not the best time to start any enterprise that's going to require a great deal of energy. And then also on the 4th, the Sun trines Uranus. So again, from our perspective here on Earth, that's a 120-degree angle, which colors the day's energies to engage in new and different activities that lead to self-discovery and a greater understanding of the world. This is more exciting energy than we've have most days, and people will be more perceptive and able to make changes with a greater understanding of the interrelationships within their lives. Expect folks to be more forthright in expressing themselves without trying to filter what is expressed for the benefit of the listener. This is a good day for studying science or something technical or the occult, subjects such as astrology, because it brings the ability to find greater understanding of any discipline that reveals new and exciting aspects of the universe. On the other hand, it will be a difficult day to follow the daily routine. So get out there, do something you've always wanted to do on the 4th. It's a great day to cross something off your bucket list, and you'll probably gain some new awareness in the process. And then on the 5th, we have 3 Ish or Jaguar. It's about taking action through enjoying nature, while Mercury trines Uranus. So again, another 120-degree angle from our perspective here on Earth. And Uranus is the higher octave planet to Mercury. Mercury being our personal thinking and communication, while Uranus is about transpersonal communicating with something larger than ourselves. And this can be a very stimulating transit, which raises consciousness, awareness, and brings more of a love for life and a desire to seize the day. Carpe diem. New ideas come quickly with solutions for a problem that has been perplexing and somehow available under this influence is somehow the answer somehow available under this influence after being unavailable for days leading up to this time period. This energy is looking for a break from routine, so go out and do something out of the ordinary. It favors studying a new topic, particularly astrology, science, math, technology, and the occult. Those are all topics that fall under Uranus's jurisdiction. So expect some electric conversations under this influence on the 5th. And then the 6th, we have for men or eagle, which is about stability through seeing from a higher perspective, with the Gemini full moon being opposed by Mercury and the Sun, which underscores the themes of learning. Mercury and the Sun are in Sagittarius and are seeking an education and travel to learn the truth of that gives life meaning. The Gemini moon is curious and seeks to gather information that may be of value in the future. So you may want to seek answers to important questions in your life under this influence. Full moons are times of tension. At this point with the Sun in Sagittarius is about freedom to explore through experience and with having a perspective to gather information for intellectual pursuits, represented by the moon in Gemini. This lunation is also in harmony with Uranus and Jupiter. So it brings pleasant yet restless feelings, craving, emotional excitement to do something outside of the daily routine, feeling in the flow and having a sense of wholeness as well. And then on December 7th, it's 5 Kib or wisdom in the Mayan Tzolkin calendar, empowerment through introspection, meditation, and forgiveness. And then the 8th is 6 Kaban or earth. It's about being in the flow through gratitude for Mother Earth. This is the point where Jupiter turns retrograde. So from our perspective, from the Earth is just moving past it on an inner track, and so it's sort of like passing a car that's moving more slowly on the outside of the track. But from our perspective, it looks like it's moving in reverse compared to the constellations far, far away. So again, retrogrades are times of review. Jupiter's about opportunities, so this may be a time when people review their missed opportunities, particularly related to creativity and children, because those are Leo themes. For some, this might be a time of thinking of a lost love with whom you'd considered having a family with, or some creative endeavor that was dropped by the wayside. Jupiter retrograde also has us reviewing any expansion that we encountered since Jupiter moved into Leo in July on the 16th, July 16th of this year. And then also on the 8th, the Sun is at the same degree of Sagittarius as Mercury. And this stimulates social interaction and conversations, particularly with people who are part of our new direction. In Sagittarius, this could be related to travel. There's also illumination comes to some of the dark areas of our minds, which brings forward information that was previously in the shadows. This alignment emphasizes an increase in conversations, although folks are more inclined to talk than listen. Being in conjunction, it brings the initiative to start something new. Mercury rules commerce and the exchange of ideas, so this could be an expansion that involves travel for increasing our education. This also brings sharpness to our thinking process, and it's a good time to make plans for the future. And then on the 9th, we have 7 Etsnob or Flint, which is about reflection through being introspective in the Mayan Tzolkin calendar. The 10th is 8 Kawak or storm. This is a balance through recognizing the gifts in adversity. And at this point, Venus moves into Capricorn. and which brings more cautious carefulness in love relationships and social interactions. Capricorn brings a practicality to love, being grounded in an earth sign. It also seeks security in partnering and including having material comforts. December 11th is nine aha, or sun, patience experienced through honoring the wisdom and the memory of our ancestors in the Mayan Tzolkin calendar. And then the 12th is 10 Imish, or crocodile. This is about manifestation through nurturing new beginnings, with Mercury in a trine to Jupiter. So again, 120-degree angle from our perspective here on the Earth. This is great energy for making plans for the future. From an overview perspective, this transit does not influence us to take this transit does influence us to take the easy way out and avoid difficult intellectual and mental problems. Mercury, supported by Jupiter, is good for business dealings and signing contracts, as we find our minds are sharper to see opportunities that are normally overlooked. This is an optimistic and promotes positive thinking and the studying of subjects that deal with a high level of thought, such as law or philosophy, religion, those things. December 13th is 11 Eek, or win, resolution through communications in the Mayan Tzolkin calendar. The 14th is 12 Akbal, or night, understanding through contemplating the stars, with the sun in a trine to Jupiter. 120-degree angle between them. This is another very positive transit, bringing enthusiasm and optimism. It can affect people in feeling lazy. Jupiter has that effect on folks. But I'd encourage folks to use this energy to accomplish something good for yourself. This is a day to project positive energy into the environment and have some influence on your affairs in accomplishing something you desire. Some will just see this as dumb luck, but the transit does have its roots in something that was done in the recent past. This is a great energy for making changes in your life without feeling a sense of loss. This is also good for studying anything that you're interested in, particularly subjects that help us see the world as a whole. Also on the 14th, Venus is in a sextile to Neptune. Neptune up here. Sextile is 60 degrees from our perspective here. So Venus to Neptune, 60-degree angle, inspires creativity and romantic imagination. It's very nice energy between the planet of romantic love and her higher octave planet of unconditional love. So this might be a time when we experience universal love through personal relationships. This is also very creative and imaginative energy that seeks and appreciates beauty. Exposure to art, music, or poetry could help renew our consciousness during this pleasant, dreamy fog of this transit. This is also in a pleasant, also being in a pleasant environment, or such as a beautiful spot in the country, or a lovely garden, or looking at a majestic view, will be very powerful during this transit. Neptune may give us a deeper sensitivity to the feelings and the need for our loved ones, which we are more than likely, and the needs of our loved ones, which we're more than likely going to want to satisfy. Some may have the feeling of soul union with another during this type of alignment. It's a good day to indulge in daydreamings and fantasies. And then December 15th is 13 Con, or seed, or lizard, movement to the next stage through planting seeds, making connections with the square between Pluto and Uranus. So from our perspective here on the Earth, that's a 90-degree angle. This is the sixth of 7 exact squares between Uranus and Pluto. The themes of revolution, transformation, tension between the material and spiritual worlds, upheaval, along with death and rebirth, are particularly potent at this time. acceleration of transformation related to revolution and evolution are increasing exponentially. This is the peak of the energy for unexpected change, as the old ways, old structures are crumbling to prepare us for transformation. This is one of the undercurrents that's been most powerful during the continuing challenging squares between Uranus in Aries and Pluto in Capricorn. And this square is at 12 degrees 35 minutes. These are challenging angles between Uranus, the planet of disruption, revolution, unexpected change, in Aries, the sign of the individual, challenging Pluto, the planet of death, destruction, but also rebirth, in the sign of Capricorn, representing structures, including governments and corporations. This is really the most powerful transit of our time. And these two titans have exact confrontations an amazing 7 times between 2012 and 2015. And usually this type of transit occurs 3 or 5 times. 7 is unusual and very intense. And as I said before, the world is going to be a different place at the end of 2015. So when we look at the chart for the Uranus-Pluto squares, there are certain things that we notice. The first thing that really sticks out to me is that we have, here's Pluto down here in Capricorn, here's Uranus up here in Aries, and we have Chiron right here in Pisces. So Chiron is the wounded healers at 13 degrees Pisces, forming a sextile to Pluto and a semi-sextile to Uranus. So this square brings depth and intensity to our healing, which is a wonderful transformative force for releasing old wounds that have been an obstacle to the freedom for humanity from the decaying power structures. These Uranus-Pluto squares have made us aware of the financial, political systems being slowly and sometimes almost invisibly compromised, like a sandcastle as the tide is starting to come in. The Sun and Mercury in Sagittarius are conjunct the center, the degree of the center of the galaxy. So the galactic center is here in Sagittarius, and these two planets are at that degree. That this is really activating that portal of the galactic center, bringing in more higher purpose and higher intelligence. And the Sun Mercury galactic center conjunction forms a trine to Jupiter in Leo. So we have these planets right here. Here's our Sun. And Mars in Sag, and then we have Jupiter and Leo over here this trine is it's a 120 degree angle. It's a very favorable angle, so and as we've talked about before, Jupiter is barely moving, so it's really very potent. As is beginning its retrograde cycle. Jupiter rules Sagittarius and the Sun rules Leo. So we've got mutual reception with these very positive, in this very positive supportive relationship. And this indicates that Jupiter retrograde is bringing about this review of the past, missed opportunities, and perhaps the illumination with the Sun to heal or repair what was lost. In the context of the Uranus-Pluto square chart, this may be experienced as humanity demanding fairness from our leaders. The Moon right here is at 1 degree of Libra, and it forms a sextile to Saturn here at 29 degrees of Scorpio. And so this brings emotions, the Moon, this brings emotional moon balance, Libra, when dealing with limitations, Saturn, that have until now been concealed, Scorpio. Saturn it has been in mutual reception with Pluto for several years. Saturn and Pluto sign Scorpio, Pluto and Saturn sign Capricorn. But that's going to change on December 23rd as Saturn enters Sagittarius, which is going to allow Pluto to act even more powerfully without the influence of Saturn's restriction impacting the full force of transformation in dismantling what no longer serves us. And then we've got Mars here at 8 degrees of Aquarius, which is in a wide sextile to Uranus. But again, this is another mutual reception. Mars is in Aquarius, Uranus is sign. Uranus is in Aries, Mars is sign. So this it brings ingenuity to the warrior archetype with new ways to deal with those in power. And Pluto brings covert possibilities. And then we've got Venus right here in a sextile to Neptune over here in Pisces. Venus sextile Neptune is a harmonic alignment of planetary octaves, emphasizing that feminine power is really being activated to influence change through illumination and illusion regarding the crumbling patriarchy as we're moving into a new beginning after this 7th Uranus and Pluto square in March of 2015. So no matter what these energies and how they're affecting you during the one road Trisena, take some time to be in the flow of the planet by being in nature, watching a sunrise or a sunset, communing with the stars, being conscious of the moment through introspection, meditation, or just truly being present with somebody you love. Every day we have is a blessing, no matter what the dramas are that beckon to distract us. We're all here just giving the performance of a lifetime on the world stage. But just take some time to observe the play as well as act your part by remembering you're a spiritual being that's having a human experience. I want to thank you for checking out New World Birth. The next segment of the care and feeding of a new world age will be on December 16th for one Chan, a serpent, and then in the Mayan Tzolkin calendar, with Mercury entering into Capricorn, Uranus turning direct, the Sun entering Capricorn, and then very quickly having the new moon in Capricorn, and Saturn entering Sagittarius. You can check us out on Facebook, YouTube, or the Mayan Magics websites. There's New World Birth presences up there as well as other places. And I encourage you to share this information as videos or as text as widely as you choose. As always, I invite you to contact me at newworldbirth@yahoo.com if you have any questions or you wish to schedule a reading. And I am providing readings and wish to make this service available to the greatest amount of folks. So I've created 3 options with 3 levels of compensation. So if you've been thinking about getting a reading, please contact me. I would love to provide you a reading during these uncertain times. You'll need to be able to either call me in Maine in the USA, or we can connect with Skype to receive your reading. And we're also accepting donations to keep these reports freely available. As I've said before, you can email me and I'll give you information about making a donation. Or if you are inclined, get a reading. It's a great way to make a donation, support us here at New World Birth, and also get something significant for yourself. These readings are epic. They go at least 2 hours, sometimes quite a bit longer. And just to give you an idea, what I like to do is I like to approach the reading as if I was a playwright, and I use human design to talk about the character description. Who is the character? I use astrology transits to talk about what scenes in the play is that character going through. And when we get to what's the character's lines in the play, it's always going to be strategy and authority from human design. But it gives a really nice holistic view of you and your world. People have really remarked that it's been a significant experience for them. So if you're thinking about it, please contact me. I would love to connect with you in that way. As always, I'm blessed that you've taken the time to connect with my passion for all these ancient mysteries and their application to our journey during this incarnation. The light in me honors the light in you. Namaste, in Lakesh, and great gratitude to you. Thank you for connecting with this, and I look forward to connecting with you in future videos or on the radio show, which will be back in January, or certainly a reading would be best of all. Anyway, thank you all. All my best to everybody. Peace.